What if the fruit you reach for every morning is quietly lowering your testosterone and stealing your energy? I am Dr. Anna Reyes, urologist with over 15 years helping men over 50 restore circulation, strength, and hormonal balance naturally. And I say this with the kind of confidence that comes from clinics full of men who told me their mornings felt heavy, their workouts stopped producing gains, and their libido faded like an old photograph. If you wake up without the spring you used to have, if your workouts feel like a slog, or if your confidence at work or home is not what it was, you are exactly who I want to speak to today. I will show you 4 fruits and fruit habits that act like saboteurs of testosterone, 4 game-changing foods to prioritize instead, explain the biology simply so you understand the why, share short patient stories with direct quotes, and give you a practical 30-day plan you can start tomorrow. Before we dive in, write one word in the comments right now that best describes your usual breakfast item, and keep it simple, like fruit, juice, bread, or other, so I can tailor future videos. Now let us begin by understanding why what you eat moves your hormones so much. The short version is this, and I will explain simply. Repeated spikes in blood sugar raise insulin, which drives inflammation, increases SHBG binding of free testosterone, and impairs Leydig cell function in the testes so they make less hormone. Add chronic stress and elevated cortisol, add accumulation of visceral fat and insulin resistance, and you have a cocktail that lowers testosterone, reduces nitric oxide production for circulation, and robs energy and libido. A 2018 study showed that higher fasting insulin correlates with lower total testosterone in men, and population data link high fructose intake with increased inflammation and metabolic stress. This is not theory, it is biology. Now imagine your breakfast causes a sharp glycemia rise and you live with that pattern daily. Every spike whispers to your endocrine system that it should slow down energy production and prioritize fat storage. That is the mechanism we can change without drugs by choosing foods that stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support nitric oxide and Leydig cell health. Below, I list 4 fruit-related villains and why they harm testosterone, plus practical swaps you can use immediately. Villain 1. Fruit juice and smoothies made mostly of fruit. Many men think liquid fruit is healthy, but juice and blended smoothies concentrate fructose and sugar and remove the fiber buffer that slows absorption. The result is a fast rise in blood sugar and insulin, which increases inflammation and raises SHBG, which binds free testosterone. Swap example. Replace juice with water plus a half avocado and a handful of berries blended for texture. Or have whole berries with Greek yogurt to add protein and fat so glycemia is steady. Villain 2. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, and figs. Dried fruits are calorie-dense and loaded with fructose in small portions, which makes portion control hard. They spike glucose and over time promote insulin resistance and visceral fat that reduces testosterone. Swap example. Choose a small handful of raw nuts and a piece of high-protein cheese, which gives lasting energy and supports muscle repair after training. Villain 3. Very ripe tropical fruits such as mango, pineapple, and papaya. These fruits have higher glycemic index, and in large servings, they can drive repeated insulin spikes, especially when eaten alone between meals, which signals the body to store rather than to build. Swap example. Use smaller portions and pair with protein like cottage cheese or a boiled egg, or choose berries, which are lower in sugar and rich in antioxidants that protect Leydig cells. Villain 4. Bananas as a frequent pre-workout choice. When eaten alone, many men use a banana as fuel, but for men with metabolic sensitivity, that single banana can still nudge glycemia and cortisol, which together suppress testosterone acutely and chronically if repeated. Swap example. Have a half banana with a scoop of natural peanut butter and a handful of spinach, or pick a boiled egg and small apple to lower the glycemic load. If any of these sound familiar, pause and help the community by commenting below. If you identified with morning slumps or an energy crash in the mid-morning, write the one word that describes your usual breakfast. When you comment, you help me see patterns, and I will use your replies to build follow-up videos with recipes targeted to the most common habits. Commenting also helps other men realize they are not alone. Now, let us move to the 4 allies that actually support testosterone and circulation and how to consume them. Ally 1. Avocado and olive oil-rich fats. Monounsaturated fats help maintain testosterone synthesis and reduce inflammation. Avocado also slows sugar absorption and helps nitric oxide signaling via better endothelial function. How to use: half an avocado on toast with a protein source or blended into a morning shake with spinach and a scoop of protein. Ally 2. Berries and low-sugar fruits. Blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries are lower in fructose and packed with antioxidants, which protect Leydig cells from oxidative stress and support healthy SHBG balance. How to use: a small bowl of berries with Greek yogurt and seeds 3 times a week, or frozen berries mixed into overnight oats with protein. Ally 3. Leafy greens, beets, and nitrate-rich vegetables. Spinach, arugula, and cooked beets boost nitrate oxide production, which improves circulation and erectile function and indirectly supports hormone distribution to tissues. How to use: add a cup of baby spinach to morning eggs, or have a small beet salad pre-workout to raise nitrate oxide. Ally 4. Oily fish, eggs, and red meats in controlled portions. Omega-3 fats and zinc-rich foods are foundational for testosterone synthesis and reduce inflammation and cortisol spikes after meals. How to use 2 servings of oily fish like salmon per week and eggs or lean red meat as your protein at breakfast 3 times a week. Now here is a practical daily and weekly plan you can follow for the next 30 days to stabilize insulin, lower inflammation, and support testosterone. Morning routine, day 1 through 30. Wake with a glass of water, add light mobility, breathing for 5 minutes, then have a protein-rich breakfast, 2 eggs or a Greek yogurt bowl with a small portion of berries and a quarter avocado. Include a nitrate source 3 mornings per week, such as beet powder in water or a small beet salad. Mid-morning, if hungry, choose raw nuts or a small portion of cottage cheese. Lunch. Build a plate with lean protein, vegetables, and a source of healthy fat like olive oil. Avoid fruit-centered desserts. Pre-workout. Snack 30 to 60 minutes before training. Have a small serving combining protein and a low glycemic carbohydrate such as half a banana with nut butter, only if your glucose response is normal. Post-workout. Prioritize protein and vegetables. Evening. Keep dinner moderate in carbohydrates, focus on vegetables, protein, and healthy fats, and limit late-night fruit intake. Weekly layout. 2 high-protein breakfasts with eggs, 3 days with yogurt and berries, 2 days with smoked salmon and greens, 1 higher-carb training day paired with sweet potato and lean protein. Track energy, sleep, and libido on a simple chart, and measure waist circumference to monitor visceral fat changes. Let me tell you about 2 patients so you see how this looks in real life. John, age 54, came in saying, "I feel old and tired." His voice was flat and his hands trembled slightly as he recalled mornings. I asked him what he ate. He answered, "I drink a smoothie with bananas and a big scoop of dried fruit every morning." I said, "Have you tried adding fat or protein to it?" He replied, "No, never." I suggested he stop the smoothie and try 2 eggs and spinach. After 4 weeks, his training energy returned and he said, "I feel like myself again," which brought a smile and a quiet laugh. Marcus, age 60, had been told by a friend to eat a lot of tropical fruit for vitamins. He said, "I had heartburn and my belly grew." He switched to berries and grilled salmon twice a week and reported lower waist measurement and more morning erections. In the clinic, Rebecca, his partner, hugged him and said, "I see the old Marcus coming back," which for both of them was powerful. Other men I work with include David, who started a beet and spinach habit, Tony, who reduced late-night fruit, and Linda and Sarah, who actually cook for their partners and notice improved moods. These reactions create momentum. Dialogue scenes in clinic matter, so here is a short exchange you can imagine between a physician and patient to anchor the advice. Doctor, how many fruits do you eat daily? Patient, 2 to 3 pieces. Doctor, do you eat them alone or with protein? Patient, mostly alone. Doctor, try pairing them or having the portion and adding fat like nuts or yogurt. Patient, okay, I will try that. Doctor, come back in 4 weeks and tell me how your energy and libido changed. Patient, will do. That short, real-world talk shows how simple changes produce measurable results. Now I challenge you to a 30-day experiment. Replace one fruit habit with one of the swaps I suggested for 30 days. Track your energy, training, and libido, and post one simple update in the comments each week. If you commit, you will likely feel shifts in 2 to 4 weeks because insulin patterns change quickly and inflammation begins to drop. If you liked this content, subscribe for weekly practical plans and studies explained in plain language. Remember, this is general guidance and not a personalized prescription. If you have diagnosed hypogonadism, severe symptoms, or are on medications, consult your physician or endocrinologist before making major dietary changes. These recommendations are about giving your body what it needs to restore natural testosterone and circulation. Your body still knows how to thrive, and small, consistent swaps often lead to big returns in energy, strength, and libido.